Hey, alright, so we're going to have a look at Frameboy, and I'm going to do a very quick run through on how to use it. So this thing is very good for adding a bunch of data to your 2D animations for games. Um, Also, it's good if you don't want to follow the old school rule of the pivot point for every one of your frames in animation has to be in the same spot. So if you hate that, then this will get you around that. So let's see what we can do. It looks a bit weird because we're still coming up with the words, but it's alright. You create a rule set first, and I'm just going to call it show and tell. And this is basically the types of data that every one of my frames in an animation set can have. So let's add a group. Let's say we've got collision box. That's pretty standard for a lot of things. And is it a single item one? Do you want to have only one collision box per frame, or do you want to have many, up to many? I'll go with leaving that as is. Alright, so a collision box, it's not really a string, it's not really a point. Box group's probably the best. It's not really a number, so you click that, hit add. There it is there. You can get rid of it if you want. Let's add a few more groups. Let's say how much damage this frame does. And you don't have to put stuff in. Damage is more of a number, so add that. Alright, cool. And we'll just make one up. We'll just do particle. So maybe if a frame generates particles, we just enter in some strings for the particles to make. So cool, choose the string group. And maybe we're only allowed to do one particle at a time. Alright, cool. Dun dun dun. So my show and tell sets of groups of data contains collision boxes, damages, and particles. Now that's per frame that they're allowed to have. So hit save. Note the current rule set up the top there. Mine's currently on one of my testing ones, so you go to manage rule set. Choose the one that you just made, so show and tell. There we go. And then we create animation set using this thing. So this animation set, I'm going to call it, I guess we'll just roll that show and tell. And it only works with PNGs at the moment, but where you put these, so you've got your Frameboy folder inside that res, chuck it in frames, so just chuck your PNGs in here. So I've got cyborg, glob, and a wall, which is pretty boring. Let's go with the monster, I suppose, for now. Cyborg's more interesting. Yeah, we'll go with that. Alright, so you chuck your images in here, and they'll show up in this list down here. So I'm going to choose the cyborg. So you give it a name, pick the image that you want to work with, and hit save. Now, animation set. Now, this is a set of animations, so we can add an animation. And I'm going to call it, let's do an interesting one. So attack right. Cool, save. And that's here. You can delete it. Now, edit is probably what you want to do. But you can pump all these in if you know all your different things. Let's say walk down. We'll do that one too. There, it's there. Alright, so let's go to attack right. Edit. Now this is where all your frames are. Now your frames are all they can be any size and the pivot points are all different, which is handy. So I'm going to add a frame to this. And you can look up what all the buttons and shortcuts are by turning on the help thing, but I use Z to zoom in and X to zoom out. And I drag it around at the moment. So I'm doing attack right. My first frame is here. Yep. Select frame region, click that. Now I can draw around that. See, I've drawn this little box around him. Hit save. There he is. Cool. Okay, let's add another frame. Zoom in. Select this bit. You can just redraw it again if you accidentally grab the wrong stuff. Alright, cool. Save. And we get a little preview of how it's going so far, just with default delay values. Okay, add frame. Let's just get this last one. I'll just do it from up here. Don't have to zoom in every time. Cool, save. Boom. Good. Now, first thing, let's go in and, well, sorry, I'll show you what we can do. Alright, we got edit. Edit is where we start adding data to each frame. Delete will delete it, obviously. Up and down just moves it up and down in this thing here, so I can swap them around. But I'm happy with the first way I set it up. Now, I'll do one frame at a time. This first frame, I don't want to add extra data to. Duration is how long does this frame stay up on the screen? I think I'll change that to 0.1, so it's shorter. The offset, now this is your pivot point. See how it's at the top left here? I'd prefer it to be between his feet. So I click there. Good. So if you want to have a better look at what I'm doing, there it is there. That's his pivot point. Collision box, damage, particle, I don't really care. Save. Now there's a bit of a jump because the offsets are different. It's between the first one's feet and it's in the top left corner for the other two images, but it'll all be okay by the end of this. Alright, so my second one, I'll just leave it at 5, that's fine. Offset, let's put it in between his feet again. Yep. Now we got these other ones, collision box. Hit add, and it creates a basic collision box with 0, 0, 0, 0. That's X, Y, width, height. Click on that, and now you can draw it. So we'll draw around the region where it's going to do damage. Yep. And I can add as many as I want here because I didn't say you can only have one, so I can have multiple damage boxes if I want. Damage, how much do I want this frame to do? Let's say 4 points of damage. Cool. Particle, I don't know, maybe you depends on what your data is and what your particles are. Let's say there's a special particle effect, which is a like cling, you know that sound that swords make? There's like little particles coming out. I don't know. Okay, cool. Hit save. So we've done the first two. Edit our last one. Alright, put our offset in the middle again. And that's it. Save. Now we got that. Boom. Let's make this frame shorter. It'll look better. Save. There we go. That looks half alright. Cool. So that's how we edit our frames and add the data from the rule sets to them. So you can see, if I just go to one of these, collision box, damage, and particle were the 3 things that we added to the rule set. So that's why we can add that type of data to these frames. It depends on what your rule set is. Okay, now I don't think I'll go through walk down actually. It's the same process. If you want, you can export this to JSON. Yep, there it is there. Show and tell JSON if you really want that. I don't know how useful that is to you. I'll just open it in this. Here we go. A whole bunch of data. Mostly what it's saving to is this file here, an FD set, which has all the information about all your attacks and frames and stuff like that. Okay, let's go back here. Let's go back. And we can always load that one back up. Show and tell. There it is there. Go away, ad. Alright, show and tell. Attack right, walk down. Yep, they're all still there. That's good. We can load, obviously. Now, I'll give you a walkthrough on one of the existing ones. So manage rule set. Go to Udemy. Load. And let's load up the Udemy cyborg. And you can see there's lots of animations already here. Let's go down to die. There you go. Boom. He dies. Slash up. Oh no, that's dash up. Slash down. You got this stuff here. Let's go to the collision box, hitbox, damage. That stuff's all there. Cool. So how do you include all this stuff into your game once you've done it? At the moment, so far, I've only made it for C++ SDL projects for loading this stuff. You can reference that source code. Well, it depends on what time you're viewing this video, but at the time of filming this video, that's all I've done. In the list of comments below are a few other languages and things. I'm willing to pay $20 for everyone who does the first best version of each one of the things listed in the comments below. For example, MonoGame. So if you do a good, decent version of loading up frame data and showing how to use it in the game, and then you give me the source code to reference for other people, then yeah, I'll give you money. Cool. All right. Well, I hope you enjoy Frameboy. All these features will always be free. If we add specialized features, they'll probably cost a little bit of money, but your feedback and suggestions will help this tool grow. This is only version 1, so have fun with it.